Okay, guess we're live. It seems like we've been live for quite some time. Okay, guess we're live. Seems like we've been live for quite some time. Okay. How am I going to even introduce this? How am I going to introduce? I feel like I've been rusty for quite some time. I feel like I've not been doing this for quite a long time, and in essence, I might be very rusty. Very rusty indeed. Oh, we do it like this. How about we do it like this, yeah? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Tech Chess. I am your host, Steve Nyanumba, and today we are back yet again. Another return. This is like the second one in the year, and then we take another break, I guess. But it's been a long time since I actually did one of these. Yeah, and it's taking me for a very big nostalgia trip in the process. But all in all, we were meant to do this. I think I just used some of the colors. Okay, I think we're good. Great. So today, there's a business solution I left you guys kind of hanging. And I'm trying to build it again. I'm trying to build it up from scratch again. But I'm not going to start from scratch on this stream. I'm just going to show you the progress and generally go on from there, because this is like a rekindling moment where we are, just coding, trying to find system logic and the likes. I'll show you guys what I've been up to for the past few months and how I've been getting around coding all of it. It's not that it's been a difficult challenge to juggle it. It's just that I've been too lazy to actually carry on like with a lot of all these other items. All in all, let's just begin the process of going into what I call the best coding run. And I'm trying to actually bring it up in a sense that we simulate what it is that we're trying to simulate, and then we start from scratch again. Okay, so let's just begin so that I can explain it much better using illustrations. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. So it's 6 o'clock. Let's carry out the stream until around 7, I guess. Because I think by 7 I'll be able to finish all the seeding stuff. So in essence, this is an inventory application. If I was to walk you through all the steps of the inventory application, it's as follows. So let's actually go to my first commands, and let's talk about it in perspective. So of course, with this system, we already had the users table at the very beginning. So the first command that I did was to make the roles table and actually bring it up before the users table. So in essence, this is what we did. If we can go to the database and go to the migrations, you can see I have the roles table and the users table. So the roles table comes before the users table in my account. I just had to change the name and that's it, because in the users table, we're going to add a role ID over here, right? And then of course we have the admin email and admin password as setting up for the default super administrator. We have one super administrator in the system we can't delete. So yeah, we have the roles and then the users. Then from there, if we go back to our first commands, I don't know why this thing always ends battery. It's really pissing me off. Need to charge it. Okay, so let's look at this. So we have the roles, then the permissions. So those ones are coupled up together with what I'm trying to remember. So it's coupled up with the users table, and then now we move on to the customers and the suppliers who we create separately. So now, given that this is going to be like a user managing their own business stuff and all that, they're going to have their own customers and their suppliers. And then we're going to have tax type. So in terms of tax type, we're going to be talking about it in the essence of, okay, so what types of taxations are there? And if there's VAT, put VAT. If there's any other kind of tax like GST and all that stuff, if there's going to be excise duty and stuff like that, then put it there. And then the tax rate just pretty much takes the kind of VAT that you're going to be using and in essence, just try and craft it out. So the reason why I have tax type and tax rate in this situation, if we can look at the tables, you have tax types. So tax types has the name and the description, and then the tax rates. We have the tax type ID, then the rate, then the start date, then the end date. So it pretty much, like, let's say for example, if we have tax type and then we have VAT, there's different aspects of VAT. You might find that you're going to be charging in a different country a VAT of this amount, and then you're charging in this country a VAT of this amount. Even it can even change in counties. So in essence, you have to put that tax type. Let's say you have VAT and then you describe what VAT is, and then you have the tax rate. So you have the tax type ID, let's say if it's VAT, and then we have the rate, 16%, let's say, right? So I'm going to just put in here like what, 16, or I'll put 0.16 or something like that. And then you see, now the thing about it is the essence of having that tax type and then the tax rates is because you might find that in time, the tax rates start changing. So that's why you have to put the start date over here and the end date over here. So like, let's say for example, VAT being 16% might have started around 2002. So you put here like 1st of January 2002, and then the end date, maybe you leave it as null so that you can note it as this item is actually the active one. So if it doesn't have an end date, then it's the active one. If it does have an end date, then it's going to be surpassed by something else. Or if the end date is ahead of the date that there is right now, then there can't be any other tax type that comes in. There's no other tax type or tax rate that comes in with the same tax type ID at the same constraint of the start date and the end date. You can't have a tax type ID that comes and starts after, like this end date, after or before the start date and ends after the start date. It just doesn't make sense. So it can't be between these two dates. That's in a sense what I'm trying to say. I can't find the English right now. I don't understand why. I think right now my mentality is to code this system completely and just finish it all the same. After the tax types and the tax rates, we come to payment methods. This one is very straightforward. We're going to have payment methods for each and every single payment that we make, whether it be external payments or internal payments. So like, let's say for example, if we open this, we just have the name and the description, and then we have the banks. Now the banks come up in the sense of, like, what is it that we're going to be doing in terms of the banks? What kind of payment methods do we have for other suppliers or other customers to pay us through? Yeah, so we have payment methods in terms of like paying out, right? And then we have banks to state what we're paying in. But all in all, I kind of feel like this whole aspect of having payment methods and banks is probably not necessary. Maybe I get rid of payment methods and we end it like that. But there can be two methods of payment. Maybe credit payment, maybe credit, maybe cash, maybe digital. You can have some things like that. But all in all, this is how we address the whole issue of banks. I like to address it like this, in a sense that first of all, the business has these accounts, so we store the accounts that the business has, right? The current business that we're talking about, and then we expand on that and say, okay, you can pay us through this. So we attach that to like probably the supplier accounts. We can pay them out through that particular bank ID, account name, and account number that is stored within the supplier's accounts. But aside from the suppliers accounts, we have the suppliers. So the suppliers table looks like this. So we have the supplier type, it's either individual or business. We have the name, the email, the phone, the country, the state, the city, the postal code, the address, the preferred language, and the nationality, and the company name, and the VAT number. Most of these you can see are almost, nullable. They're all nullable, right? Like most of these are all nullable. So you can find that the only aspect that we may need to actually accumulate or accommodate is the country. But now within the country space of things, I would want us to actually develop it in such a way that we only have a certain number of supported countries. So once we have those numbers of supported countries, we can be able to craft out our tax rates based on those countries, and we can also be able to craft out our bank accounts based on those countries as well. Now, moving on from there, we can find that we have unit types, or rather, unit types. From the supply accounts, we move to unit types. So this is, in essence, going to follow along with the previous inventory application that we created. We find that we have countables, we have items that are measured in mass and items that are measured in volume. Right. So if we are going to measure in mass and volume, those are the types. We're either counting, we're weighing, or we are checking the volume, right? That's in essence how we're going to go about it. Now, when we go to the units table, we move to the units table immediately after the unit types, because that's what is directly related to the unit types. So if we're looking at the unit types, units table, and I think I may need to zoom in on this actually, because some people may not even be able to see the screen. So save that. So going deeper into all of this, we might find that now, as we look at the units table instantly, we can see that it's going to be related to the unit types, the names, the abbreviations, and then the rates are what's going to be the fields inside this table. So in essence, let's talk about how we classify this. So we weigh them countables, right? We weigh them differently. We might find that we have single pieces, we have pairs, we have things that exist in sixes and they cannot exist otherwise. Like let's say, for example, slippers. Slippers only exist as a pair, right? They cannot be counted as otherwise. So if they don't exist as a pair, then that's a broken piece and that one has to be accounted for. Now, in essence, if we have a certain number of pairs of slippers, then we know how many single pieces there will be. And that's why we have the units table to tell us, like, okay, if we have a pair, we're going to label something inside the system that's supposed to be accountable. So we'll put ID number 1, we'll call it pair, and then we'll say the abbreviation, of course, will be maybe PR or something like that. And then the rate is 2. Given that 2 single pieces make one pair, right? So the rate means that you take this rate and multiply by the countable, and you'll get the number, the actual number that unit represents. Let's take another example of kilogram, right? We'll take the unit type of the unit type of mass, right? And since it's only measuring, since the default measurement is gram, then we're going to put the rate as 1000. And that way we can be able to get like, okay, given that we have 1 kilogram of something, we have 1000 grams of that particular item. So in essence, just translate all of that into something. And then we have the brands table, we have the name and the logo path. That's pretty much very standard in how we're dealing with certain items. And then we have the products table. And when we look at the products table, we look at now how are we going to store our products in the system. So we have the product category ID, we have the brand ID, we have the unit ID, we have the quantity. Now the quantity is not the number of items that are with a number of products of that particular item that are in the system. Now the reason why we have product category ID over here is because we have the product categories table. And we're going to always add something called tax rate. The reason why we'll add tax rate here is because there's some items that are within this product category that are taxable, and then there's some other categories that are not taxable. So in that situation, in any case of making sure that these tax rates are always accountable for everything, we need to set the standard. We need to set the work of like, okay, for how long is this item going to be taxable, and for how long is this item not going to be taxable? Now, the problem with this, having this product categories have the tax rate inside it, is because is the sense of, let's say, yesterday we had groceries being excluded from taxation, and then later on, like as time goes by, we have that particular product category being added into taxation, and it has to be vatable. Vatable, my definition of vatable means that it's going to be done for value-added tax. It's not an actual English word, but vatable. Let's just say vatable, V-A-T-able. So the way we move from there is we might have to remove this particular table, this particular column, and then have a created table over here. So I'll just call it as so PA make migration, and then I'll come here and say create a product category to tax, right? To tax rate table. So I'll make this and do something like this. So I'll state it like this. So given that this particular product category is not taxable between a certain previous date, it's never been taxable. So it's not going to exist in this table. But let's say come the date of maybe tomorrow, those items are going to be taxable, and then it's going to continue being taxed at a certain percentage from this point onwards until that particular point. Until I don't know, it's indefinite, right? And then it changes all of a sudden. So in the moment of it changing, what are we going to, how are we going to calculate all of that? And then these calculations need to be, expected in each and every system, so that this data still remains immutable, such that if I was going to extract an invoice on products that are being taxed in a particular time, and then they're not being taxed today, the invoice of that particular time will still generate the same amount, and the invoice of this time will generate now that different amount given the different changing of circumstances. That invoice should remain the same. And with that tax, that way of dealing with tax on product categories was not the best way. So I'll come in here and do product category tax rate. So I'll come in here and just create a foreign ID. And we're going to have, tax rate ID. And we're going to have to look at when it is applicable and when it changes, all the same. So that tax rate ID. And then we're going to have The product category ID, so foreign ID. And then, of course, we're going to just do it constrained. Then we're going to have something over here called start date. So I'm just going to put date, and then I'm just going to have a start date. And then we're going to have the end date, which is nullable. There we go. So in essence, we can't have the tax rate and the product category ID appearing here more than once if it's still active, right? But in any case, if it changes, if the tax rate changes, then this also has to change in a way. So if the tax rate changes, then it has to eradicate everything. Like at the point where it changes, at the point where the date ends for that particular tax rate is the date where this particular situation ends as well, right? The end date is also clocked at that particular point. And then a new tax rate is involved in bringing up everything else. But so in the light of that, we can't, in the existence of that particular problem, we cannot put this to be a primary key, a composite primary. We cannot put this to be a composite primary key. So the only way to go about this in terms of like, dealing with the whole composite primary key and all that is by indexing. We could index it in the sense that, they could still exist at entry with the same tax rate and product category ID, but with a different start date and end date, right? So if we were to make it composite, if we were to make a composite key over here, I don't know what we should have done with this. Maybe we could have created we could have created just the primary key, which is the ID, and then we make it so that, that exists like that. But it's a bit difficult to actually even input that. But given that we're not putting this as a primary key, which other one will be our primary key? It doesn't stay loaded quite well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a plea, I'm going to take a risk over here and say that since in this table you cannot have this being blank, I'm just going to come in here and state that we have a primary key of 3 different columns that are going to they're going to take that place. So we're going to have the tax rate ID. We're going to have the product category ID. And then we're going to have the start date. And just like that, we finish everything. We are ready for this to actually take shape. So that's for taxation. So given that this is also for the taxation and it's going to be paired up with the product categories, I'm going to have it come right under the product categories table. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in here, copy this date, and then I'm going to come in here, paste it with a second difference, or just leave it like that. So we have the product category, the tax rate table that's coming right under the product categories table. Yeah, so that's how we go about that. Now, moving on from that point here, we have the units table, we have the brands table, the products table. Now, when we go to the products table, you can see product category ID, brand ID, unit ID. We could also put it as though there's another primary key, or there's another primary key over here instead of just using ID, but we're not going to do that because of various exceptions that may happen. We have the quantity, we have the title, we have the description, and then we have the price. So the title, given that, like, let's say for example we have the brand being, I don't know, Kellogg's, right? And then the title is conflicts. Then the quantity is maybe say 850 grams, right? Quantity is 850, and then we have here grams, right? And then of course the product category is cereals, let's say breakfast cereals or something like that. And we have the title, description, and the market price, right? MRP. So once we have that done, we move on to the other stuff that we'll be dealing with in this system. So aside from products, we'll also be dealing with assets and also services. So we look at the assets, we have the categories, where we also have tax rate and the name. And I will deal with these ones the exact same way I dealt with the product category tax rate tables. So we'll just do it like that. And then we go back up and then change product to asset. And then we also do the same for, you could also do the same for, so now you can see the assets table. We'll just take this, copy it. And then we come here and paste it here. Right. So that we have it there. So asset categories, then there's an asset categories tax rate table. Then you see we have services. Services are also going to be dealt with the exact same way. So I'm just going to come in here, remove that. And then we're going to do pay, make migration, create services, service category. Tax rate table. So given that it's 1 second also, I'm just going to come in here, paste this here. Right, so in essence, we have things ready. Yeah, we have things ready. Now, services comes up over here, all right? So when we come to service category tax rate table, we're going to just copy what we have here and change product to service and asset as well. So I'm just going to come in here, do this. Yeah, and that's it. So I'm just going to come in here and then just edit product to asset. Yeah, I think that's all. Then we just move to the service. We do the same. And then we come in here and change this to service. Right. Now moving like that will make the system a bit more redundant in terms of checking whether or not this tax rate applied on this particular date, and then it also makes it a little bit more robust. Makes it so seamless. In fact, makes it very, very seamless. Because now using that logic, you can actually make things like the booking engines, make things like calendars. Just by using that particular logic right there, if you're able to set dates for those particular times when variables change and those variables affect different times in the system, different time constraints within the system. Tax is a very important thing. Anything financial will be a very important thing. So we can move on. Okay, now, yeah. Now, given the timing of services as well, now that we look at this, We have the service category ID, the title, the description, and the price, which is fine. We have the sales table, right? Now sales now takes up all of that stuff, right? We have the sales, like you're selling, okay? So you can sell assets, you can sell inventory, and you can also sell services all in one breath, okay? So like, let's say for example, if you are building a website, right? You've sold hosting, which is a product. Then you've sold your service of web development. Then you've sold your service of management and maintenance. And then you've sold an asset in the midst of it all. Like, let's say for example, okay, I think in that situation you can't sell an asset. But let's say you sold those services and then you sold that inventory. That inventory and that service should be included in the same invoice, given that that invoice is going to cater to giving one particular wholesome product to somebody who actually requires it. So you're going to actually sell it in the same breath and then generate your invoices from this sale. Now coming to the expense categories as well, it's the same thing that I was talking about in terms of taxation and all that stuff. So there's the expense category, then there's the expenses table. The reason why in the expenses side of things I have not included VAT is because everything that you pay for as an expense includes VAT. Like, I don't think right now as it stands, there's nothing as an expense that is not put under the VAT bracket. But given that we also need to indicate that we have spent on something and it's been applied for a certain level of tax in it, then we also have to express ourselves in terms of like, how much VAT have you paid? And if you've not paid VAT, don't start going out there and claiming VAT refunds if you've already, filed that this one was not VAT able or VAT enabled. And gives a whole robust sense. Every time you record a transaction, or every time you record an expense, you're able to actually do a whole summary of everything that you're spending on everything that you're also receiving in terms of like sales and all that stuff. Hiring is the same thing. So there's hires where we have the customer ID, who are we hiring the item to, the date that we hired and the date that it was returned. This also enables us to track, like, let's say for example, if we have assets that we need to hire, cars, furniture, utensils and cutlery, and so on and so forth. If let's say for example, I have a camera, this is my EOS 250D that I'm using as my webcam. If I'm going to hire this, at what rate am I going to hire this item? So it also comes to a point where like, okay, I'm looking at hires, right? And I look at there's a pivot table that I have over here called product hire table. There's also asset hire table. So let's look at asset hire first, because in this situation, you can hire a product. Actually, you can actually hire a product, and you can also hire an asset. Given that the product is not consumable, like it can end, you can hire that as a product. Now with asset hire, it's different. Asset hire, you can't sell assets, so that's why we call products and assets. Given that you have your hire ID, which is from this hires table, and then we have the asset ID, then you put those two as a primary key. You take the quantity of how many assets are you hiring at that particular point, and I put it as decimal, given the fact that you can probably hire something in mass or in volume, and then it comes back the exact same way. And then the price at which you hire, so this price will be per unit, so which means you multiply the quantity by the price, and that's how we move on further than that. And I think the rest are really pretty much self-explanatory. So from asset hire, we have also the product hire. It's the same thing. Then we have the disposals. So disposals are different from all these things, from sales, purchases, and hiring. So we've not talked about purchases. So purchases is like you take the supplier ID and you know the date at which you've purchased from them. Then we have the asset purchases table, and then we also have the product purchases table. Given that you can actually buy an asset and a product in the same breath again, but you can also buy them separately. So this is just to ensure that, inside purchases, you're actually tracking what assets you've bought within that particular purchase and how many products have you bought within that particular purchase. Now, you can't buy services, right? You can't buy services as something that you're going to store in the system. Services, once they're done for you, it's not something that's stored. You cannot store a service. So that's why you cannot buy a service using a system, right? You can only sell a service using a system, given that you're going to be getting something back for that service. But the reason why I put service purchases as an expense is because things like, for example, maintenance are services that are offered from one company to us, the people who are using the system. So we try as much as we can to call that out as an expense, a company expense, because it's not going to be taken and then repurposed for something else, where it's going to be taken and used to maintain, maybe it's an asset or a product. And then from there we move. Now we have asset disposal, and we also have disposals. So disposals are for product disposals. Asset disposal are for assets themselves. Now, you see, asset disposal is for assets. Disposals is a general disposal table. So we have asset disposals, and then we have disposal product, where asset disposal records the assets disposed, and the disposal product records the products disposed. Now we have pay-ins, payouts, and then purchase payouts, sales pay-ins, hire pay-ins, and expense pay-ins. Now, with the pay-ins, we come here and take what it is that comes back into the business. So that means sales is what is accounted for. So if you've sold something, you have to be paid. So this is what accounts for it. And then if you hire items out, you also have to account for the pay-ins from those items. And that way you can be able to tell that we have hired pay-ins, and then we also have sales pay-ins, right? Now, purchases are when money flows out of the company. So those are purchases. The purchases are payouts, and expenses are also payouts. So we buy products, we can also hire assets, right? Hire out assets. Now, when it comes to bringing things in, we can buy assets or services, or all these different things, and we record them all in purchases. You can purchase assets and products in the same breath, so that's why I put it in purchases. And then you can also put it as though we are buying expenses, which is a service. You cannot buy an asset, you cannot buy a service, sorry, but all in all you have to pay for it as an expense. So that's why we have this here. So all in all, that's the whole table of what we are building. It's going to be big. It's like a full-on inventory / accounting system for businesses. And we want to actually start by continuing the seeder that I wanted to try as much as I can to simulate the processes. So yeah. So let me just close all that. So these are the first commands. I think I'll post them all on GitHub. And then also we need to add those few three different tables that we created. So there's the create product, this one, right? So just going to copy that, and then I'm going to put this. So this one belongs to service, create service category. So I'm just going to put it under here. and I'm just going to say PA make migration just underneath it, or just before it. Now I'll just copy this and then say that we want to put it in the asset category, and then we'll just change this to asset, and then we'll put one under product category, and we'll change this to product. Now I need to charge this as I go and get some more coffee. Hope everything I've been saying has been making sense so far, because I'm a bit rusty. Sometimes I'm not finding the right English words to use. I can't speak Swahili to save my life on these streams, but all in all, I am really hoping that, at the end of it all, like, somebody will come in and learn from this. But yeah, this is the inventory application, and we're going to start another live stream based on this inventory application only. So I'm just going to close the commands table, and we're just going to jump onto this part for database migration, seeders, and then general seeder. And then I'm going to create a seeder for all these different items so that we can be able to follow along with what happens in, like, let's say, for example, if we were to have data in this whole database and we're able to track like where they came from and why they were created the way they were created, then we can be able to actually finish this part over here, which is Livewire admin. We can be able to finish all of this UI. And this is a lot of UI, given that each and every one of these has 4 different components that we need to actually edit. So to begin this, I'll have to go for coffee. Enrage. Okay, so let's carry on. Let's carry on. So I was actually in the process of working on asset categories. That's the first one, because if you're organizing these items in alphabetical order, you have asset categories, assets, banks, customers, disposals, and so on and so forth. So I just decided I was going to start with asset categories, but whichever comes, less complex, I'll be able to actually craft them out. So what I usually do in this situation is I'll open the database, look at the migrations, look at the asset categories, and open them on the side. So in order to do that, you just hit Control and double click. And now I've just hit Control B to minimize the tabs. So I'm just going to continue with the asset categories itself. Over here, as you can see in this code, I'm using Faker, which I probably will be using for all these functions. But all in all, you can see that for over here, I'm creating 7 different categories, asset categories. Then I save it. So that's how we go about that. Then we have the create function for the Faker. What am I saying? Let's move to the asset categories, the assets themselves. And for each asset category, so you can see for each asset category as category, for I is equal to 0, I is less than 20, and I plus plus. So which means for each asset category, I'm going to create a new asset 20 times, or rather, I'm going to create 20 assets under the asset categories. So I'm just going to come in here, do asset category ID, brand ID, unit ID, and then we move on to the next one, which is, let's actually look this up. We're going to double click on this assets table. Right. Now, in this situation, since we removed the tax rate ID, we're not going to use this, right? Okay, so let's move. Quantity. So quantity is going to be equal to, let's just say something like maybe a universal quantity, like 400. And then we're going to come in here and say asset title is equal to Faker. I'm just going to come in here and do a product. Faker. I think I don't want job title. I want to have I don't know. Oh, I don't know what I could do. Just title, I guess. Let's just do titles, just to fill up the database to see how it works. Long text description. So I'm just going to do asset description, and then bring it to Faker, and then we're just going to do text. I'm just going to do real text so that it can give me in this language, and then asset price. Now I'm just going to do a random int between, or random. Let's just do random, and then we're going to do between. We'll do between like 1.2, it's supposed to be integers, so let's do between 1 and 10 and multiply by 150 or 140. Let's do 140. Yeah, just a random, or 135. 135 is decent, seems a bit more random. But it ends with either 5 or 0, so that's okay. And then we have asset daily hire price. So asset daily hire price will be, so daily hire price will be probably usually 25% or 15% of the total. So it's 0.15 multiplied by asset price. And there we are. Think like this, we'll be able to craft out the whole system like that. Now we move to the banks. Moving to the banks, we have our banks right here. Let's see. So we have our, this is the wrong, the banks table, here we are. So you can see that we have the name, the short name, the code, the branch, the account, the address, the contact name, the contact phone, and the contact email. So what I want to do is I want to create 7 banks. Yeah, I think I'll want to create 7 banks, or I'll go to GitHub and actually collect some data from one of my previous applications. The one that I want to collect from is this one. And we're going to go to database, then we're going to go to migrations, then we're going to come in and use banks. I don't know if banks is here somewhere. There we go, banks table. And then here we are. You can see this, banks. You have the name, the short name, and the bank code. And I'm just going to collect that. And then I'm just going to collect this and then paste it here. So name, short name, and bank code. So it should be bank code. It should be code instead of bank code. But let's do bank code instead. So I'll just come in here and change this here. Bank code, branch, account, address, yeah. So all this, the rest are nullable, so there's no need to actually deal with that. And then what I'll just do is db insert into the, so I'll take the table first, and the table is banks. And then I'll just come in here and do insert. Then I'll take the banks and save that. Right, now we move to the customers. So that was quite fast actually with the banks. Now we do the customers. And then we'll do like data entry to simulate like the whole order to pay process. So let me reduce the font a little bit to help me code as well, but not too much that can be visible also on the screen. Actually, in fact, let me actually see the way the stream is looking. I don't even know, honestly. Let's go advanced. I'm streaming in 1080p 60, so I don't understand why it's not like giving me option. Okay, there we go. Finally. Okay, so that's fine. We move on to the customers section. So when you go to the customers, when you look at the customers, we're going to come in here and look at that. There's customer type, there's name, the email, phone number, country, state, city, postal code, address, preferred language, birth date, nationality, company name, and VAT number. So I'm going to come in here and just do this. There's something about the fillables for this kind of. Actually, let me not even deal with the fillables. Let me not deal with the fillables. Let's just do what we need to do. So I'll just do a for loop for customers. I0, I is less than 25, I plus plus. And then we're going to come in here and do what? If it's divisible by 3, if I is divisible by 3, then use the customer type to be individual. So that's how we're going to be doing this. Give a second. Hello? Looks like I gotta pause the stream a bit. God damn. Hi, Tech Shorts. How are you? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome to the stream. We're just here doing some simple coding. It's an aimless stream at the moment because I need to actually stop getting this. This Rust needs to disappear for quite some time. So I'm going to be doing a lot of live streams, I think, on a daily basis. Then we can see what we are up to. But yeah, welcome to the stream, man. Hi. We are creating customers. Let's finish the customers first, and then we can end the stream there. So customers, this is how we're going to go about it. So for each, we're just going to create a new customer. Customer is equal to new customer, and when we do that, so we're just going to come in here and customer, and then we're going to say for if I is divisible by 3, so I'm just going to come in here and say if I is if I is divisible by 3, so I'll just do modulus, so I modulus 3 is equal to 0, and then I'll question that. I'll ask the system. So if it's true, I'll just do individual, and if it's false, then we'll just do business, and then we move on from there. I think this one will take some time, guys. I'm gonna end it here. We'll continue, and we'll continue tomorrow, actually. No, we'll continue later tonight. Or we'll continue right now after I go and do some few things. This is PHP, bro. This is PHP. Yeah. Also, you know what? I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Okay, we're back. Come on, let's go. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to do it for seeding purposes. I said that if I is divisible by 3, then it's an individual business. If it's not, it's an individual. So if it's not, it's a business. And that's how we deal with this. Now we go to the string, the name. So I'm just going to do customer. Jesus, this should have been customer type. Then we come here to customer name. Can't type on this keyboard, man. It's an external. I've gotten used to typing on my laptop. So customer name. I'm just going to come in here and do I'm going to come in here and do a faker. So let's actually take the faker and deal with it from there. Where am I from? I'm from Kenya. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi, Kenya. If you've heard of it, tell me which side, which continent that's from. Customer name. So I'll just come and do faker name. And faker name. Let's just do faker name. Without the title, of course. So I'm just going to do faker. I don't like titles, so I just going to do faker first name. Last name. Now all right. I hope you're not Googling where Nairobi is from. Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi, Kenya. That's where we are. That's where we are at. Best country in the world, Kenya. Best country in the world. Okay. We have the emails. Customer email is equal to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do str slug. And then I'll just do customer name. And then I'll do the dot, and then I'll just come to @gmail.com. And then we end that there. So now this str slug, what is going to happen here, I'm going to import str at the very top. So I'm just going to come and say use str, and it's from Illuminate support. There we go. So that's where we are at, and this works. Then customer phone equals to faker phone number. There's something about this phone number faker because there's nothing else it can take, so let's just put it like that. And then customer, what else? What is nullable here? Everything else is nullable, but we can just do country, I think. Can we fake a country? Yeah, I guess we can. And there's nothing else that is being faked, so just Now, something I said I was going to do is I was going to come in and, okay, because we don't have this thing from the customers. You're from India. Nice. Nice, my brother. My stream is going all the way to India. That's really nice. That's really, really, really good. So customer save. So now we have 25 customers. I'm not going to be dealing with disposables just yet. Let me look for suppliers. Let's do suppliers. I'm just going to come in here and do the faker again. Okay. How many suppliers do we want to create? Like 25? But India is not far from here, actually. Now come to think about it, it's like a 3-hour flight, 3 or 4-hour flight. Yeah, and it's not so. It's far, but it's not far. Okay, so suppliers. Suppliers. It's really the same situation. So you can see a supplier type and all that stuff. So I'm just going to come in here and do a change over here. So instead of customer, we're just going to change it to supplier. Then it's preserve case. So if we're preserving case, very seamless indeed. And then of course we have to import the customers, the suppliers deal. So that's it, and we accept our fates. So that's how we create suppliers. Now we look for tax types. Tax types should have been amongst the first ones. Tax types and tax rates should have been amongst the first ones. Given that tax type doesn't have a prerequisite table to actually follow it, so which means it's amongst the first ones here. So we have the name and the description. So all I'm just going to do here is come and do db table, and then I'm going to come in here and say tax types, insert the name, value, added tax, and then we have the description. So what I could do is I could just do VAT over here. And then the description is value added tax, and just leave it like that. Right. Then we have tax rates. So now when we come to look at tax rates, we look at it. We're looking at tax rates like this. That's actually. So we look at tax rates like this. We have the tax type. Okay. So tax rates. So tax rates, and then we have the insert, and then we have the tax type ID being equal to 1. And then we move to the rate. The rate will be 16. I think we're going to leave it in percentage, right? Such that if we're going to do... This one is tough. I don't know if I'm going to do it as 0.16 or just do it as 16%. I'm just going to leave it as 0.16 so that we just multiply by the rate. And then with the start date, I'm just going to start it with carbon parse. And I'm going to do 1 1 2000, and then I just say to date string, just like that. The reason I'm doing 1 2000 and then I save it is because of the reason I'm doing it like this is because I want it to go as far back as possible, so that we cannot have any issues whatsoever. Okay, so then we have unit types and units. Unit types have already been seeded. The default unit types, which is countable, mass, and volume. So units, I don't think I want to do units just yet. Let's see. Disposables, expense categories. So we can do expense categories just because we've done asset categories at the moment. So you just come here, copy this, and then we go to expense categories. This is great stuff. I think all we just need to do is change this. Category is equal to new asset category, expense. Like that. Then we have category name, figure title. So we look at the expense categories table, and we can see that we have just the name. It's just figure title and then save. Then the expenses themselves are just like assets, I believe. So I'm just going to come in here, open expenses, and great. I think this looks nice. This makes things so much easier, actually. Because if you're looking at it like a many-to-many table, you might think that there's a lot of data to play around with. But in essence, given that there's that amount of robustness coming with the amount of data that you're using, it enables us to be able to accurately track our expenses given the date and given the situation. So if I'm looking at the expenses table, let's just actually look at the assets and the expenses. You can see the expenses. With the expenses table, I'm having an expense purchase over here. You see, we have to buy expense. We have to put expenses. No, wait, hold on. I need to actually rain check this. I need to actually rain check this because for expenses, yeah, purchases have expenses. But why? That's the next question. But why? Does this need to even be there? Expense purchases? Does it need to be there? Let's look at the expenses. What else has expense? So we have expense categories, then expenses. Now once we do expenses, just the same way we have assets, right? So expenses, there's expense category ID, then there's description. So what is, oh yes, exactly. So whenever you make a purchase, yeah, it's something that's supposed to be paid out still. I see. So it might not even be in the same breath. It might be separately completely. So if we're going to create an expense, we have to do it right. We have to do it like how you describe fueling a car, for example. So given that this expense is there, then it also has to be recorded in the purchases table. But given that we have assets, right? Assets are not going to be recorded like, it says that assets are going to be stored in the system as reference data. So when we're talking about expenses, we're talking about like, how are you planning? How might you spend your money? Right. So if we're going to go back to the general CEDA, we're just going to title some expenses. So for example, like I don't know if we're going to use the faker still. Let's actually we'll just do it like this, yeah? We'll just do it like the way we did the assets, although with the assets, it's different. Yeah, there we go. We'll create 5 expenses for each category. Then we'll just do a change. This one will be asset is equal to new asset. We'll change that to expense equal to new expense. Was it brought in from the expense? There we go. Yeah, it's good. So we need to follow along with that. So there's new expense category ID is equal to category ID. There's no brand ID. There's new unit ID. There's no quantity. And then there's no title. Because an expense is an expense. You can't record quantity of a particular expense since they're all totaled together. But yeah, that makes sense. So I'm just going to come in here and do with the description. Then when you do expense purchase, given that particular expense doesn't have a fixed price and doesn't have a fixed unit of measurement, then you can't actually put in a quantity in the storage, which is nice. So actually, I think I quite like this. So once that is done, then that's when you can do the expense purchases and be formidable with it. Damn, this is a lot. Then higher payments. So I'm not done with the expenses just yet. I think I need to comment out over here and say that I think I need to state down here that I need to, add expense purchases afterward. So every time like there's a new purchase of there's a new expense payment, so an expense that needs to be paid for, it's recorded into expense purchases table. There could be a situation where we can have these tables, expense purchases being recorded like differently. So like, let's say, for example, if I've made a purchase and then there's an expense included, there's an asset included, there's a product included, then I need to play it out with that. And I think the best way to go about that is by doing a very huge mass recording of data. and spreading it out across different time frames, across a very specified period of time. So I'm going to do it like the full 2023 or something, from January 1st, 2023 to now. And yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Then we do like maybe about 25 to 50 sales a day. That will make a good test for robustness of a system. Given that my computer is not as beefy as it should be to handle all of that, it will handle quite a bit in terms of the calculations and all that stuff. But we're good. I think we're good. Right there, we've actually done enough. So I don't think we need to add more. Let's hire payments. Come on. Let's hire payments. Let's do hire payments. But we need to do hires first. And for hires to be done, you see, it's like purchases. It's like purchases and sales and hires. It's purchases, sales, hires. So we can't do that first. We can't do hires. We can't do purchases. We can't do sales just yet. We have to ensure that the products are actually available first. And for that to happen, we also have to make sure the product categories are available. So yeah, we need to follow along with that. So product categories, we're just going to use this for product categories. Okay, let's see. This one is supposed to be product categories. Then we have the category name is equal to figure title, category save. I think that should be okay. Then I don't really need to check again. You can come in here to the figure expenses and just paste them down here for the products. So for each product category, as per category, we're going to create a new product. Then we're going to have expense category ID is equal to category ID, expense description is equal to figure real text. But there's more when it comes to products, because let me actually go back to assets, because it's almost the same. So I'm going to just come in here and create maybe 60 or 60 products. And then I'm going to come in and say product. So asset will replace product. So making this actually have 18 references of all that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's fine. 13 references, that's fine. And is it truly the same? Let's actually see for the products table. Yeah, it's truly the same. So there's a product category ID, the brand ID, the unit ID, the quantity, the title, the description, the price. And then there's no daily hire price. So move on from there. So those are 12 references. And yeah, I think that will be good. Okay. Shit. What have I done? What have I done? I did that on expenses instead of on products. Should be here. Damn, that was a close one. I thought I had blundered a big one. Okay, so we're done with that one. Then we move on to the purchase payments. I said I was going to finish at 7. It's already almost 8. We move on to the purchase payments, the purchases, the quotations, the sales payments, the service categories, the services. We'll do service categories first. Now let's look at service categories. Okay. Look at the service categories now. So I'm just going to come in here and copy this. Paste it on service categories and change this from it's 7 different service categories, that's fine. Then services themselves. Let's actually look at the services table. It's just service category, title, description, and price. But this price is usually very dynamic. Let's actually take this from products. And then we just do that. For each service category, all as category, we're just going to create 10 services. And then for each category, I think we'll just do 4 services. Then product is equal to new, don't product, but service. So we have service category ID, that way. And then we get rid of that. We also get rid of quantity, by the way. We'll just have title, description, and price, and save. Now the random here will be 1 to 80 times 165. Let's do 165 to make it more random. And yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah. So given that we have one tax type, we have one tax rate, we can use that to create now the purchase payments and all that stuff. But we also need to do this table over here, which is the asset category tax rate, service category tax rate, and the product category tax rate. So I need to track this down. I just need to write it down so that we're good. So in terms of seeding, we need to actually seed everything so that we can be able to like craft out views for everything while seeing the data working live. So I'll just have I'll have to write them down like from top to bottom. Permissions. Permission roles. So those ones are the ones I'll check off the list. Users, permission roles, permissions. Now customers. Suppliers. Then supplier accounts. Did I do supplier accounts? No, payment methods table. But I'm still yet to decide. Then the banks. Supplier accounts. Unit types. And units. Product categories. Then products. Oh, there's product category tags. There's product category tax rate and product categories, then we have products. So this one is following along smoothly. So now we have the units table. I've already put that. We have the brands table. Now, thing about brands is it needs to come before the products table, so that's okay. We have products, then we have asset categories table. Then we have asset category tax rates. Then we have the assets themselves. We have services. Categories, service categories actually. And then we have the services. Category. Tax rates. Then we have services. Now, we move on to the purchases table. Now, when we move to the purchases table, and then we have also the services table, I already put that. So we move to the purchases table, then we have the sales table, then we have the expenses table. This will be much easier to even record things like parking fees and all that stuff. and then hires table. Okay, then we have the pivot tables that come in for them. So for example, we have the service sale table. We have the asset hire table. We can also do service hire, given that you can hire one person to do for you a certain amount of work for a day on a daily basis, and then you pay them after that particular day. After those particular days, you pay them on a daily basis, which is interesting. Asset hire table. We have the product hire table. Then we have the disposals table. So asset hire, product hire, service sale, and expense purchase. Didn't record expense purchase. Yeah, so asset hire, product hire, expense purchase, service sale. There also has to be product sale, asset sale. So let's actually look at that. Of this product purchase. Asset purchase. So product purchase, asset purchase, service purchase. Product purchase, asset purchase, and service purchase, of which the service purchase I might actually eradicate. Okay, and then there's asset sale, product sale, asset sale, and product sale. Asset sale, product sale, the service sale, of course, product hire, expense purchase, service sale, asset hire. Right, so I think I've recorded all of those. And now we move to the disposals. Disposals are based on products that have to be disposed and are not going to be used. And in this situation, we are also going to include the disposable bags. So even when we sell, we also have to include disposals as disposable bags and all that stuff, so that we know exactly how much we have in stock. Okay, then asset disposal. So that's another pivot table. Then we also have product disposal, so disposal product. These are mini tables, man. There are many tables. It's incredible. Then we have pay-ins, payouts, purchase payout, sales pay-in, hire pay-in, and expense payouts. Those payouts I'm going to be dealing with separately. So I'll just draw a line over here to include those in my blue pen. So I'll just say pay-ins, payouts. Then there's purchase payout, sales pay in, hire pay in, and then expense payout. And right there, we can be able to tell that if we don't pay in or don't pay out to a particular person, if they don't have that, then they are act as creditors. And if they do, then they act. If you pay them, then they're included into petty cash reconciliations and all that stuff. Wow. So this is a very big system. I don't even know how we're going to go about it, but it is what it is. Yikes. Okay. Now I'm gonna look through. I'm gonna look through everything and just check off on my list what it is that I've done and what it is that I've not done. So I'll start with just look at this. So roles, users, tax types, tax rates, permissions, permission role, customers and suppliers. Banks I've done, supplier accounts I've not done. Unit types I have done. Units I've done. No, units I've not done. Actually, units I've not done. Now that I've marked it green, I need to actually finish it. Units. Yeah, units is here. So I'll just come in and say for each. Now, because we have countables, I'm just going to come in here and say db table. Now let's just do for each. So for each unit type all as unit, then let's do this. I'll do a for loop. I is equal to 0, I is less than 10. No, I is less than 2. Let's just do 2. And I plus plus. So that's a good for loop. Yeah, now let's do this. Unit is equal to new unit. Then unit type ID. This is going to be long. Is equal to unit ID. I didn't need this as unit. I needed this as type. So type ID. That's okay. Then unit. The unit. What the units? So the unit name. So I need a faker. I just need a faker and a title, just like that. So I need I need a title, I need an abbreviation, so I just need to take the unit abbreviation. I need to take the name and actually get the abbreviation from it. How do we abbreviate in? How do we abbreviate? I need to know how to abbreviate in PHP. Hmm. I think I'll just do str2 up of the actual name. Let's do a random between 100 and 1 or 10,000. And then save. So to save it like this, I think we're good to go. In terms of units. Now, did I do product categories? I did product categories and products. I did brands, I did asset categories, and I did assets. I did service categories, I did services. I did not do any of these others. So purchases, sales, expenses, hires, service sale, asset hire, product hire, expense purchase, product purchase, asset purchase, service purchase, asset sale, product sale, disposals, and asset disposal. And disposal product. Pay-ins, payouts, purchase payout, sales pay-in, hire pay-in, expense payouts. So I need to finish with payment methods. Or I might not even do payment methods. I might use banks. I might use banks as the whole essence of things. So I'll remove payment methods. I'll also use. I'll remove service purchase. Okay, now I need to look for supplier accounts. Did I do supplier accounts? I think I did. So these ones are done. Units are done. Suppliers done. Services done. Service categories is done. Products is done. Yeah, expense categories is done. Expenses is done. Customers done. Banks done. So when we're doing payments, pay-ins and payouts, we don't need payment method IDs. We need bank ID. Pay-in, it's using... when you pay in, you have to use the bank ID and the reference code. And I don't know why I'm doing string. It should be foreign ID. And it should be constrained. Like that. So the same thing should be done for payouts. Now when pay-ins are done, transaction cost is not accounted for. But there will be a situation where we'll be told, okay, that should be inclusive in an expense. So I'll do transaction cost inside pay-ins. Such that, like, let's say, for example, if there's a remittance and it's on our side instead of their side, then it is accommodated for as transaction cost so that we don't have to include that in tax, which is perfect. Yeah. Transaction cost still applies onto us, even though it's a pay-in. By default is 0 still. Great. So yeah, I think that's it. My payments table is good. My payouts table is good. So now I need to finish the seeder. I see assets we're done. Asset categories we're done. Now, we said we're removing payment methods, and that is exactly what we're doing. We'll remove it from here. Supplier accounts, it should be inclusive with suppliers. So now we look at the supplier accounts. I think I kind of see what payment methods help with. Is it EFT? Is it RTGS? Is it PesaLink? Is it what? All in all, it's not relevant as such, but let's go with it. So the supplier account supply ID. It will be equal to this supplier ID. Then we come to supplier, and this one you should be unique. Yeah, this one should be unique. There we go. I think I've opened enough of these tables. Okay, so now we come to, we still open supplier accounts to just see, to have a point of reference. So we have supplier ID, we have the bank ID. Will be a random. Will be a random between 1 and the count of the total number of banks. Bank. Oh. Then we move on to the. What else are we moving on to? The account name, right? Which will be equal to the supplier name. Let's use credit card number. Yeah, and then we save. Yeah, just like that. Okay, this shows that we've not done banks. Oh yeah, we did actually. Never mind. Okay, so I think we're good. So this one for suppliers is done, which means we've also done supplier accounts. So supplier accounts needs to be marked done. The only thing we're left with now is the product category tax rates and the asset category tax rates. So I need to create functions over here. So we have product category tax rate, we have asset category tax rate, and then we also have the service category tax rate. Should I put expense category tax rate as well? We should put expense category tax rate as well. I think it's important. So if that's the case, that, my friend, is a mosquito. Caught you. Mosquito ninja. Anyway, but what am I doing? Yeah, so I copied this. I think I'm good with all that. Okay, so this is just boilerplate of everything. Well, we're almost there. We're almost there. I want to take this date and actually plant it on that one. So that goes up there. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. So, in light of all this, okay. Just placing this here. And then instead of service, we use expense category. Great. Great, 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 great. Oof, okay. So we're just going to do this is a lot. This is a lot of work. So product category tax rate. All we just want to do here is, first of all, let's take a look at what we have here. Right. So we'll just come and do DB insert. Okay. And then the table in this situation will be this is product category tax rate. So this one will just come here and do. We'll just come in here and do product category tax rate. Then we'll just add name. Oh, sorry, not name, but tax rate ID. It will be 1. Okay. Then asset category ID. All of them will be the ones. So what I'll just do, actually, you know what? I should have just attached all of them, but I have to do a many-to-many relationship. I have to do a many-to-many relationship for all of them. Gosh. So let's actually deal with the asset categories first. So for each asset category has to have all of that. So there has to be a many-to-many relationship to the tax rate. So in order for that to exist, I have to go to the models first and edit that. So to go to the models for asset category, and I have to start with I have to just call it tax rates, given that it's a many-to-many relationship. This has many true, or this belongs to many. Let's just do this belongs to many. Now this has 1. It's a many-to-many relationship, so this belongs to many. Yeah, this belongs to many because it can have multiple. So as so big mini tax rate. So I'm just going to create tax rate class where we have the asset category tax rate, right? And we sort that out there and then we don't even look at it again. We come from asset category, we move to expense category. So I'm just going to come in here and copy this, paste it here. This belongs to mini tax rate where we have expense category, tax rate. Alright, now we move to the product category next. Paste that there, move to products. And then we move to service category. Nice. So those four have a blessing to do attachments now. Remove there, and we remove that, and remove that. So after that, we do category, tax rates, then we do attach. So we'll attach what? What are we attaching? Are we attaching the category ID? No, that category ID is already been done. So we just attach one, tax rate number 1, and that's it. But we might need to get rid of this. I don't know if that works. Yeah, I think that should be working. That should be working. Let's. So we do that for that. We do that for expense categories. We do that for product categories. And then we do that for service categories. And just like that, all of these disappear. Oh yeah, we're not seeding any more users. So that's another thing. Oh no, we might seed users. So let's leave that there. So we're done with this, we're done with this, we're done with this, and yeah, we're done there. So this whole page we're just done, it's just left users. We only have users to create. So user is equal to new user, right? User name, rule ID actually. So do we have any other rules? Do we have rules being nullable? I hope rules is nullable. Constrained, it is constrained, so which means we have to create an admin. And the only users that we have here, the only roles that we have here are the super administrator, which might not be ideal. Okay, so we have the role ID being equal to 2. Okay, now we move on to the next thing, which is the name. I'm just going to open the users table. The next thing is the name. After name, we move to email, then the password, and that's it. So name, email, and password. So for name, we just use faker name. Oh yes. So I'm just going to come in here and do faker is equal to factory create. That's it. Password will be hash make. And I'll just pass in this string of digits. So hash needs to be imported as well. And then we'll just save the puppy, they save the user. And we're done with users. Now I may need to test all these seeders out. It's crazy. So to test them out, I need to list them exactly the way they appear. But I need to create like 20 users in the system. So I need to come in here and do for I is equal to 0, I is less than, let me create 50 users. No, let me create 20 users, I plus plus. I just do that here. Let's create 20 users of this system. They're all normal users. And that's it. So now I can call these functions because it's supposed to return a void. So I can call the users function. So I can just say this users like that, and this tax types, this tax rates. Did they do tax rates like that? Let me look for it. Tax types. I'm supposed to do it as small tax rates like that. Permissions and permission rows are done. Now customers. Suppliers. Blanks. Oh no, with suppliers we have supplier accounts, so which means banks has to come before suppliers and customers as well. Unit types. Oh, but unit types is already created, so units is next. Okay, then we have product categories. And it comes to the product category tax rate. And now the products. Now brands has to come together with the units. Let's see, brands. I didn't do brands. I don't recall doing brands. Oh no, I didn't do brands. Okay. Yeah, I didn't do brands, so I need to do brands. So I have banks here and I have brands here. So brands. Let us see what we have in brands. Name and logo path, so we just need to do a name. Into the for loop, I is 0, I is unto the 100 brands, I++, and then we'll just come in here and do okay, so brand is equal to new brand. Oh yes, then we just do brand name is equal to faker. Does it have anything to do with brands? Yeah, I think that will be okay. And then we'll just do brand save. So once we've done that, I think we're able to call brands. Yeah, there's no error whatsoever with the brand. Yeah, so brands is done. I've ticked it already. It's just purchases, sales, expenses, hires, service sales, asset hire, product hire, expense purchases, product purchases, asset purchases, service purchases, asset sales, product sales, disposals, asset disposals, disposal products, pay-ins, payouts, purchase payouts, sales pay-ins, higher pay-ins, and expense payouts. This one is gonna be juicy, 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 juicy. This should do it. This should do the trick. Now that I've gone to my database seeder and called the general seeder class, this, if I do PAMFS, I should be able to get everything. Let's see the error. As you can see, product category tax rate must return a relationship instance, but null was returned. Was the return keyword used? Oh yes. So this keyword return needs to be used on all of them. Expense category. It's a bad method call, it says. Attach does not exist. Why does it not exist? Should be a belongs to many relationship. Should be a belongs to many at a relationship. Let's actually see what goes on here. So it says, oh yes, of course. Of course. So it needed to be avoided return. It needed to be avoided return so that we could actually, okay, so the problem with this is that we had inside our general seeder, these tax rates attached, right? So in every single one of them, these tax rates needed to be a return for it to actually work well. So there's another one here, there's another one here, and there's another one here. So all those four. So let's actually see how it works. We can chill now. Okay, so imekataa, it's refused. Fail start date does not have a default. With pivot, of course. With pivot. So it needs to be start date being equal to. So now I'm just going to do carbon parse, and then I'm going to come in here and pass in 1 stroke 1 stroke 2000, and then I am going to say to date string, and it will say that for all the other ones. So this one, that one, that one, and that one. Naisha hapo, please. Let's see. Will you bring me an error today? Of course you're bringing me an error. Service category ID doesn't have a default value. Site title, description, price, updated, updated, values miss, but she did so yet. Said the caterpillar. Is that 1650. Service category ID. So what's in services, yeah? Needed to have a service category ID. So we had gone really far. Let's see what happens now. Oh, 5 seconds and it's done. 5 seconds. Let's actually check this out now, yeah? Okay, so if I refresh this, it'll have me to put in my password again. The number of users are 21. Turnover is 10. Turnover, I don't understand why turnover is 10. Yeah, oh yeah, it's still hard-coded. So you can add a few more things like number of assets, right? So like let me go to the dashboard and do number of assets, number of services, number of all of that. So let me just minimize this. We need the seeder for a while. I'm going to Livewire dashboard. This month, yeah. Okay, so if I go to the dashboard itself, I will be able to see exactly what we have here. So this user count user all. Instead of turnover, let's actually say, or instead of CPU traffic, let's actually say number of assets. Models user all, let's copy that here. And then instead of user, we'll do asset. So let's see what happens there. We remove the percentage symbol. 140 assets, you can see. So I'm just going to come in here and do this one again. Then we do number of services. Number of services are 28. This one will be after number of services. What do we have? Expenses. After that we'll have assets, products. $420 products. Then what else do we have? So all those items are just coming in, they're trickling in. What else do we have? We have users. We have users over here. Number of users 21. Number of customers. Let's do customers. So I'm just going to copy this one. Number of customers. Then we'll do the same thing as this. Number of customers are 25. I can see suppliers maybe. Also 25. So I think we're good in that regard. Just get rid of this too. Yeah. Makes a lot more sense to actually do these cards like that, these info cards, info boxes. It's really nice. It looks really good. I can change the logos if I want to. I can do a lot with this. I'm enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this actually. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, and then I can edit this using PHP as well, which is not hard. I just have to edit a few things. Yeah, I think looking at the seeder working and it has actually exported all this data in 5 seconds is really impressive. In fact, I could just as well, let me just I could just as well go ahead and do the, let me see. I could as well just do the seeder and just add some more values. So now if I do purchases, sales, expenses, hires and services, then I could probably do I could probably do opening stock for certain items. I could probably do opening stock so that we could be able to say that these items are not generally purchased. Like when we open the system, we have opening stock. Or we purchase items from one system to the other. And then now we start from there, as that is the opening stock. Interesting. I'll figure it out about opening stock. At the moment, we just need to start knowing how to record purchases, sales, expenses, hires, and services. Purchases, sales, expenses, hires, and services. We need to know how to record them, then record them also in the various tables that they come from. Then from there, we start doing things like calculating profit and loss, balance sheets, and so on. So I'm going to put a pause there. This has been a fun one to do, in fact. Seeing as though my DB has been populated now, I think we're good to go with the rest of the project. Actually, consider it as a category. Tax rate, 7 of them. Brands are 100 of them. Banks 15, expenses 35. I actually can look at the data that is being stored within, so you can just look at the data. You can see it works very well. So if I have accounts in a particular bank, if there's an account I have in a particular bank, I can come in here and update. So I'll come in and go to the edit part and then update those particular banks, which is nice, which is quite nice. I think this sparks some. This sparks a lot actually. So that is that. I guess we're good to go. I think we can stop there for today. We can continue tomorrow. We see how far we can go with this. But I'm sure we can go quite far. And yeah, this has been Steve Nyanumba, back again here with Tech Chess. I hope to see you guys soon in the next coming videos. Yeah. As of now, let me just go ahead. Let's play, just to close off stream. Let's play a little chess. On chess.com. I'm not the best chess player in the world, but I mean, I can try a few things here and there. I can think chess wise. So let's play a final game just to end the stream. Okay, so this guy has 30 less elo than me, so let's actually see if we can do a Sicilian defense against him. It was the wrong move though. I think we've done a Grand Prix right there. So let's just protect him with that. So if he starts attacking, I can have a reason. What's this guy doing? That has pissed me off a bit. I know he's going to come with the whole. I knew it. I knew you were there. Now go back. How are we going to carry this forward? can do this, making him move the queen. He'll eat mine, I'll eat his. There we go. Now, how do we go from here? I don't have an item to trade. That was a good move. That was a good move. Then if he comes here with the queen, it's over for me as well. His rook has to go. His rook has to go. His rook has to go. Either it's knight or his rook. Okay, fine enough. Nah, I can't lose 2 knights in a row. This is so frustrating. I don't have enough pieces to play here, so let's just move like that. Oh shit, the queen. He's going to check me. Beautiful. Okay, so how do we change this game up? Jesus. I've never seen a wise guy chess player before. This is one of those. Come on then. I've created a wonderful structure over here, but he's not taking it. Like, he's just doing the most unorthodox things. And now if he moves here, it's checkmate. Or not. I should have eaten the knight. But if I did, you can't move your knight, bruv. I'll drop his Kaga and I'll just give him an RKO with this knight. Okay. It's a good move. I must think I can't see it. So he's blocking this square, thinking that now he'll come with his knight, with his queen over here. But in essence, I can still hit his queen. So best thing I can do is I'll come with his knight. I'll hit his knight. No evolution. Okay. They're just trying away, right? Okay. Go down, I eat you. Okay. I mean, oh, really? Oh, okay, all right. He thinks the ally is chaos. Move. Can't hit me. This is super simple now. or down? Where is he going? Okay. I have to go up now. That's boring. This is terrifying. For some reason I knew he was going to go there. If I block him like this, which side is he going? He's going this side here. Can't go this side, so he's going here. This guy. Must be one of the most annoying players I've ever met. Okay, let's see what you will do. Okay. Let's play a last one. Let's play a last one. Come on, let's go. Oh, it's a good start. It was a dare. It was a dare. Come on. Come on. Eat that one. Let's see you. Let's see you. Good boy. Let's move. What the hell is this? Fam. Okay. You can move like this, but I'll be eaten. So if I move like this, I can express myself. Using a sacred method. I knew you'd do that. So, I have a very interesting proposition for you. Come. Choto koi. Where are you going? Where are you going with that move? Okay. 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 Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. If he comes here, he's eligible to eat my queen. So it's either my queen or my rook. But I have this move, so evaluate your options, bruv. He might win, actually, because if he comes down here, that might be checkmate. Although, okay, let's see. Let's see what you're going to do. Let's see what you're going to do. Let's see what you're going to do. Are you going to castle? My friend, the line is very thin. When, my friend, the line is very thin. What can you do? Won't make much of a difference. If you eat here, I eat your knight. Then let's say you come with your queen down here. I'm eating it. It's clean. So best chance you have to actually take me out is bringing the queen here. Of which I have that move. Now I play a reverse. Wow, this is beautiful. I have 3 ways to counter your queen and bishop attack. What's gonna be? What is it going to be? Let's play. Come on. Problem is, no, I still have a counter. Okay, so we start there. Are you going to move your queen up, or are you going to come down and hit my rook? I'll still have you with my knight. Wow. Now that guy, that's a boss move. That now is a boss move. Okay. Can try if he must. Interesting. What happened? Did I have a clear path to eat him? Did I? I don't think I did. But there was a way. I could have just done that once. Anyway, ooh, this one looks like a very serious player. And he starts with the king. She starts with the king's pawn. Drop this one down, please. Thank you very much. This is a weird start, honestly. Okay. Where is it dropping? I drop here. This is interesting. They want to trap me. Oh. Okay. Where's this one going? This one drops the queen down like this, it's over. So, because one, and I can't escape. So, I need to castle. She's good. She's really good. I want to move my queen somewhere, but I can't. This one is risky. Where? This is the riskiest move ever. Drop him. Oh my god. Hold on. Do I have a move? I don't have a move. Alas. He's forked my knight and my king. Okay. Then I'll take his rook. Easy. Easy. I'll take his rook. Get out of there. See what happens. You can't come here. That's the only way you could have eaten me on this square. And okay, let's see what happens here. There's a showback that is really pissing me off right now. Don't move any of those pieces. Please don't move any of those pieces. Okay. There's one. come on, come on, come on. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. This is gonna be tough. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Okay then. Let's fight with queens. Oh. Okay. He's won. She's won. She's won. She's won. She's won. I did not see this. What? Why? That was diabolical. Hey, that one was key. That one was key. That was key. Interesting. How are we starting this game, Bunny? Let's do that. That's a bad start, Yani. Like, I don't understand. Why is this start like this? Okay, you know what? Piss off. No choice of character. Take my knight. I know for a fact you're going to drop down this guy. If you drop your knight here, I'll be so pissed. I'll be so pissed. I'll be so angry. If you put your knight here, I'll be so pissed. If you put it even worse. Okay, what game are we playing? What game are we playing, my friend? What game are we playing? What game are we playing? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Probably the strongest move here. So, how about we counter that with an open selection of double protection. Yeah, there we go. not eat here. It's probably going to come for this one. Probably going to drop here and lose the queen. Okay, the knight is the queen is not going anywhere at this point. So I'll just move my queen here like this and game over. But problem is, it's problematic because this looks can drop his bishop right here and eat my guy over here. Of course that was the move. Of course that was the move. Let's see what happens next. Schwab. Eagles A. Ah. Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay then. Okay then. Why did I have that feeling of he was going to do that eventually? Then he's going to move his knight. If he moves his knight, it's game over. Wallahi. Kula hapa. I come for your queen. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what the hell is going on. What's happening? I can eat here, which is fine. You come for me here. Now the problem is this knight, yani this queen. Like why? Why do you have to be on TRG? Let's see. What? 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 What is even going on? What is even going on? What just happened? Okay, I knew you'd do that. Just cover check. Move away from me, please. Move away. Move up. I know you're moving up. Oh, that's a nice move. How do I go about this? Can I eat here and just forget the play? No, you can't move. Well, that's the way we're going to play. You still can't move, my friend. You still can't move. I'm not going to make things easy for you. What? Hey. Oh, it was not nice. Where are you going to move now? Where next? We could do this. Don't cause any harm. And you do that. Okay, we're almost ripe. We're almost ripe, my friend. You can't stop this even though you know it's coming. You can move forward. You can't move here. You can't move here. Let's see. Are we going to draw this? Come on, bring yourself. The only way. The only way. Did that just happen? Did that just happen? Okay, cooler. Cooler too. Cooler too. Cooler. And I move down. My friend. What the hell is he playing at? There are so many ways he could have checkmated me without having to move all the way down. That just happened. I'm going to move his knight here, isn't it? Knight here, knight here, knight here, knight here. That's how we begin the games. Kuchuhuduni munaiwa. Lovely. Jinki Kaiho. Let's move here. Oh. Thinks I was playing. He thought I was playing. He thought I was playing. Okay. Move. You move here. I am eating your knight, my friend. I like this game. I like this game. It's very interesting. We're about to do queen sacrifices. Very big ones. Alas. Come on. Come on. The best so far. That one was fire. The game is over. The game is over. No. Can't let it end like this. I can't let it end like this. If I did this, no. If I did this, no. So, best way I could do that, then it comes down and then I go. What? I mean, what game is this? What is he doing? What is he doing? Please. I need my 500 elo. If it drops down like this. Pick one. I should have eaten you. I should have eaten you. I should have cooled you. What is this? I'm dumb. I am a fool. This queen is gone. Just like that. Game over. Game over. Game over. Come on. Move your thing. Are you serious? Okay, you know what? Okay, let's do this. Eat. Kula ula mtu. Nope. Don't put myself in situations where I lose a queen. That one. And I've left for the triads. Okay, move up. Checkmate to the. Oh, no, not yet. Nope, not yet. And then move upwards. Alas. Like, can you be serious? Go serious, please. We're not drawing this game. We are not drawing this game. Japa. I could have eaten you again. I could have eaten you again. If I lose this game, okay, so it's stupid. Okay. Move up. That's the only way you can go up. Now. It is game over there. It is. Well, let me see. Confirm. Game over there. That was the weakest shit of chess I've ever played in my life. Well, weakest I've ever seen, but anyway. It's a wayward queen attack. So that's how it was supposed to be. I still not gotten my 500. It's all good. I can close up shop now. This is going to be what Herodis. This is what's going to what Everest is going to look like, essentially. I've been building this up for quite some time right now. I'm waiting to actually just get some time, sit down on these things here, these different UI packages. The same way I just sat down on my dashboard and crafted all of this, used graphs. The graphs are down here actually. But we're going to get back into that. Maybe tomorrow. 9:30. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Closing up shop is Steve Nyanumba. This has been Tech Chess, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, and God bless.